In this video, we are going to talk about three-digit subtraction with compensation. So this is like the two-digit that we recently did, but in this case, we're subtracting three-digit by three-digit. So if I take a number line, right? Remember what I said about subtraction. Subtraction is the distance between two numbers. So let's say I'm doing 400 minus 152. Okay? Now, with subtracting 152 from 400, that means I'm going to have to do a lot of regrouping. Okay? But what if I can make it easier? If I go back one here, and I go back one here, I still say the same distance apart on the number line. I'm just going to make it easier so I don't have to regroup. So 1 before 400 is 399. Okay? What comes right before 152? 151. So I went back one for each. So that means I'm still staying the same distance apart on this number line. So it's still going to be the same number of hops between. So let's set it up the way that I would stacking. 400 minus 152. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show that I'm taking one away from each. Okay, now make sure when you write this problem over here, you remember you need to get a subtraction sign in here. But your numbers still have to be stacked. Okay, so leave a little bit of space. What number comes before 400? That is 399. What number comes before 152? That is 151. Now I'm going to subtract those numbers. Okay? Now here it's just straight subtraction. No regrouping necessary. So if I do 9 minus 1, that gives me 8. I have 9 tens minus 5 tens, which is 4 tens. And then I have 300s minus 100, which is 200. Now I can show you what it would have taken to go through the regrouping. This is why I love compensation more when I have zeros to subtract by. You just think, go back one, easier to subtract. So here I don't have enough ones, so I have to go to my tens. Oh, my tens can't help me, so now I have to go to my hundreds. So I can take 100. So I show that I take 100, and if I take 100, I only have 3 hundreds left. What does 100 break up into? If you said 10 tens, you are correct. So I'm going to cross off the 0. I'm going to make it 10 tens. Oh, but wait, I need my tens to help me with my ones. So now I'm going to take a 10 from my tens to help me with my ones. So if I take 1 10, I have 9 tens left. Now I have 10 ones. So if I do 10 minus 2, that gives me 8. 9 tens minus 5 tens gives me 4 tens. 300s minus 100 gives me 200s. So the answers match, but this one I have to show a lot more work, and there's a bigger chance of me messing up if I don't do my regrouping correctly. So whenever I see numbers where it's across zeros, I love to change that by 1 for both of the numbers, keep it the same distance apart to help me subtract without having to regroup. Okay, so if I'm looking at 600 and I want to take 248 away from that, okay, I have the zeros. I can do all this work again, or I can keep it the same distance apart and I can just take 1 from each. Okay, well, what comes before 600? Well, I know 500s come before 600, so what comes right before 600 is 599. Ooh, what comes before 248? That would be 247. Put in my subtraction sign. I need to bring that over to show what I'm doing. Okay, so now I have 9 minus 7, which is 2. 9 tens minus 4 tens gives me 5 tens. And then 500s minus 200s gives me 300. So just like that, take 1 from each. Okay, so this one you are going to try. I want you to put this problem down. 800 minus 456. Okay? You're going to use compensation, so at this point I want you to pause the video and do the problem, and then come back and check it. Okay, so if you pause the video and you're coming back to check, you had to take one away from each. Okay, so 800 minus 1 gives you 799. 456 minus 1 gives you 455. Make sure you put your minus sign there to show what you're doing. So 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 tenths minus 5 tenths is 4 tenths. And 7 hundredths minus 4 hundredths is 3 hundredths. So after subtracting, I get 344. And that is how you use compensation for 3-digit subtraction.